World and Disneyland have some of the same rides, but like, who did it better? Hey homies, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Haley, and today I want to talk about the rides that both Disney World and Disneyland have that are essentially the same ride, but inevitably it always ends up being like really one of them did it better. So I say we just dive in. I did get this lovely notebook from a coworker of mine for Christmas. She knows me and I adore this thing. So I went ahead and used a section because it's got the little tabbies. We love that. I'm always on the search for like the perfect notebook and can never find one that's perfect, but like this one's, it's pretty solid. I went ahead and made my little notes. So let's just kind of like 10 toes, dive in. Also, Willa is with me today. She's got her tent. She's absolutely bonkers. And then Ember's sleeping on the floor. So Willa's also like in this curtain over here. I'm just hoping I'm hoping this goes smoothly. But anyway, all right. Both have an Astro Orbiter. And I'm giving this one to Disney World. Now, some of you may know why I'm giving it to Disney World, but if you don't know, the Astro Orbiter in Disneyland, it's on the ground. And the Astro Orbiter in Disney World is like on top of a building. So you have to use an elevator to get up to the one in Disney World. I just think the overall experience and the ambiance of the one in Disney World is just better. It's the height, really, because you can kind of, I mean, yes, you're spinning, but you can see the Magic Kingdom from up there, even while it's like whipping past you. The views. Okay, Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. I gave them equal amounts. I just said that they were the same. It's a cute little walkthrough or whatever. My sister does say that she thinks the one in Disney World is more detailed than the one in Disneyland. I kind of also feel like she's probably correct on this, but both of them are nice little detailed walkthroughs. It's a bunch of stairs either way you cut it. I don't know. Maybe I was just pre-prepared for the stairs, but I do think the one in Disney World maybe has more stairs. Unsure, but you know, it's the same. So I just made it a 50-50 split. Autopia. I gave this one to Disneyland. The reason why, I believe that there is more shade and a few other things that we can look at. You know, I think there's just a little bit more going on. The smells are the same. So there's that, but I gave it to Disneyland.
Hey homies, Editing Haley here. I just popped in real quick because I wanted you to know, as I'm like looking back through the video, I know I said Autopia, but I never said Tomorrowland Speedway. And I just wanted you to know that I know that they have different names, but I just picked the first one that came to my noodle. So I'm a silly goose, and I apologize for that, but I probably did it. Oh my gosh, look at those ears behind me. Perfect. Anyway, I probably did it for another ride as well. So just know going into this that I may not have said both names, or I may have said one of the names incorrectly. I don't know. I haven't got there yet, but this is just like a preface, just in case. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys later.
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. All right, listen, this is going to be a hot take, and it's not even a hot take based on like personal experience, but it's a hot take based on like what happened was. Okay, so what happened was I couldn't ride the one in California because it was going under refurbishment while I was there. So the only reason that I am giving this one to Disneyland is because the POVs that I've watched from other people being able to ride it lets me know that there's, you know, more cinematic effect. There's a lot more happening for them than there is for us on the East Coast. So I'm giving it to Disneyland. I don't think that's a hot take. I think most people think the one in Disneyland's better, so Disneyland wins it. Buzz Lightyear. Now some of these may have slightly different names than their counterparts, but I forget exactly what the names are. So like Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blaster, you know what I mean. It's a fun game that you get to play where you get to like compete against your family. I'm competitive, so for me, it's a fun time. But It's not always a fun time. Travis is pretty competitive. My sister's not. It's, you know, it's fine. Everyone's got their own way to play. I'm there to crush. You know what I mean? But I gave this one to Disneyland. And everyone knows why. It's because the blasters, you can remove the blaster in Disneyland, but in Disney World, the blaster is stuck to the ride vehicle. This is about all you're getting. I need real gameplay, all right? I want, like, laser tag while I'm sitting down. So, the one in Disney World is under refurbishment right now, so maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to change the ride vehicle so you can actually pick it up. It'd behoove of them, but we'll see what happens. Also, the one in Disney World has that, like, long tunnel. Is it, like, at the end? I think it's at the end. Or it's, like, right before the end. That long tunnel that's just, like, it's just stuff everywhere. And it is so loud in there. It is so loud in there. It hurts my ears. It's just not for me. So, while I love playing the game, Disneyland did it better. Oh, the Disneyland railroads. And the Disney World railroads. I said railroads. I don't know why. Different stops. It's been a long day. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't mind me. I think that Disneyland did the railroad better than Disney World because dinosaurs. Need I say more? Does it need a more thorough explanation? I feel like that one word really just sells it, right? Dinosaurs. Next up, Dumbo. Disney World, okay? Disney World, 10 out of 10. There are 2 instead of 1. I won't even hold that against them. But the queue for the one in Disney World, you basically, like, if you got littles, there's, like, a play area when it gets a crazy wait time, and they can, like, play, and then you basically, like, get called to, like, get in line to, like, ride. It's perfect. It's perfect. Disney, 10 out of 10 with your little, like, waiting play area. Thank you for that, for the people who have littles. I don't have them, but I could see how sometimes you just need that. It's like inside, AC, they can run around. You can sit there and watch them for a second. So Disney World. Fantastic as an overall show. Disney World. It has its own stadium. It's like own dedicated spot. Now, while I couldn't watch Fantasmic in Disneyland, yeah, I saw the setup. I saw where it was supposed to be. And while I'm sure it's a great show, because it's Fantasmic, which is Fantasmic, yeah, I just feel like because Disney World has, like, that space dedicated, and you got the tiers, and as somebody who's just under 5'3", with a sister who's 4'10", having the tiers where everyone can, like, sit, I have a better chance of seeing more of the show. Next, Haunted Mansion. Here's a hot take for you. Hear me out. Disney World. Now, I'm not talking about Haunted Mansion Holiday, because obviously I can't compare those, because only Disneyland has it. So obviously, 10 out of 10 for that. The way that they dress up that house, the mansion, in Disneyland for that ride, 10 out of 10. That thing's gorgeous. However, I prefer the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. I like the setup, the way that it flows better. So personally, for me, it's Disney World. The ambiance of, like, the look of the outside of the house, you get, like, a clear, I keep saying house, mansion if you'd like to call it that. I mean, that is what they call it, but you know what I mean. The scape of the building, okay? It's just got a different feel. Because one of them is, like, at Liberty Square, and then the other one is, I know what it's called. I know it's New Orleans. New Orleans Square. Oh my gosh, are you gracing me with your presence? Thank you. I love when you do this. Hi. I can't rub your belly right now. You're so silly. But yeah, I feel like, for me, the flow through and the way that it is, Worlds. It's essentially the same ride, I understand. But there's something about the way that World is that I didn't get from Land. How I'm feeling. Next, Small Worlds. This one goes to Land, for sure. For sure. Basically because they put the characters in the ride, which was great. I know it was like a hot thing where like people are like, ooh, I don't really know if I like that. I like that because I had so much fun as an adult, just with other adults, going through and trying to see like where the characters were and like pointing them out. So silly. But we had such a good time doing that. And I can imagine if you have a child with you, like how much fun that would be for them to like point and go, oh my, the Dory. And they're like pointing the characters out to you. That'd be the cutest thing ever. So as an adult that only got to play this game with other adults, we had a blast. It was great. The facade outside is better. I kind of like that Florida's queue is inside because it's covered. But in Florida, having a covered queue is better than not. California's weather is just I'm gonna say timid, but I don't mean it in a bad way. Like there's not a real big fluctuation like there is in Florida, like where it's fine 1 second you're sweating, pouring sweat, but then it's raining and then you're sweating because it's raining. Florida's different. She's built different. But the one complaint that I have about the Small World in Disneyland is there's that last room. It's like that last section. And the sets are like this big and your boat's down here. And I felt like I was doing this more than just like normal. Like I know there's stuff on the ceiling, but in Disney World, I feel like I'm just looking around, and up a little, but like here. In Disneyland, I felt like it was much more of this. Like the sets are higher up. That's my only notes. Jungle Cruise, Disney World, 10 out of 10. Okay, Disneyland, like 5 out of 10. The skippers are great. Storyline's essentially the same. You get all the same animals. The queue in Disneyland is awful. Just the way that it's set up. I almost felt like too big of a human in this queue. You're just so, like, I didn't like it, personally. I was really close to people that I didn't know, and, like, physically, and I didn't love that. Like a little bit more space. We don't have to. I feel like if I turned the wrong way without paying attention, I was gonna like knock some child over, and it made me uncomfortable. However, the ride was fine. You still get the backside of water. That's great, and you still get those terrible dad jokes that everyone loves. You don't get the weird, dark, creepy tunnel, and I missed not having the weird, dark, creepy tunnel. So Disney World wins that one for sure. Next one, Winnie the Pooh, the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That one goes to Disney World as well. There's a few reasons. Number one, we had a child and her mother in front of me and my sister in front of Travis. So Disneyland gets like 3 compartment vehicles. Disney World only has 2. However, Disneyland is set up as like a honeycomb and Disney World is a honey pot. The honey pot is better for the kids. I say that because this poor little one in front of me couldn't see over the honeycomb design to see much of the ride. She saw everything up here, couldn't see the characters really well. She was very tiny and could sit on her own, but I just feel like she couldn't really see much. And that ride is geared toward her and my mother. So I felt like she needed more to be able to see more. And I think the honey pots, the way that they're designed, are just a little bit better for visuals for the children. Also, you don't get to bounce with Tigger when you're in a honeycomb. You only do that in a honey pot. So I feel like bouncing with Tigger is a very important part of the ride. I missed it and I needed it. So next, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's the same. I can't really tell if I like the queue in either coast better. But it's essentially the same ride, so there's nothing inherently super different. So I evened them out, 50-50. Smuggler's Run, same thing. Queue's about the same, or it probably is. That one, honestly, is probably exactly the same, if I'm remembering correctly. And the ride's the same, the story's the same, it's all the same. Also, Rise of the Resistance, since we're over there and I'm thinking about it, it's the same. So that's, 50-50. Peter Pan. I'm giving it to Disney World. I feel as though the ride is, not that this is a long ride at all. We know it's not. It's like a 30-second ride. I'm being facetious, but close enough. The one in Disney World, I think the ride time's a little bit better. I like the layout of the ride, essentially the same thing, but I like the layout of the ride better for Disney World. Also, I like the queue for Disney World better. It's more interactive, it's got more things. I just think it's better. What I liked about Disneyland was I waited like 20 minutes to ride Peter Pan, where at Disney World it's like 75 minutes. So, but still we're giving it to Disney World. Let's see. Pirates of the Caribbean. This one's easy. It goes to land. Okay, ambiance is a little different. With the queue is different. But basically by the time you get into like the show building, you see boats coming around the corner. There's a little parrot right there. He's all set up. Like, it's real cutesy. And then by the time you get on the boat, you start moving. You're like going through a bayou, but you have that restaurant right there. So then it just like adds lights and like sparkliness or whatever. The smell of pirates water on either coast is a 10 out of 10. Also, there's like 2 little dippies, which a dippy is always fun. And there's more to see because it's a longer ride. So I do think that the Disneyland one is better. However, here is my caveat to that. Disney World, you know when you're on the boat and you come around the corner and you see Jack Sparrow right there and like all of his glory, and he's surrounded by jewels, and he's like in this big room, and you know he's rocking back and forth, and he's got his cup and yo-ho and all this, and it's a gorgeous room. It's like sparkly and stuff. Disneyland, if you're sitting on this side of the boat and you go to look this way and you have somebody who's tall right there in front of you, you're gonna miss him. You got 3 seconds to see the Jack Sparrow in Disneyland, you know? I'm just saying, I don't think where he was placed, I get it, they're both placed at the end, but I feel like in Disneyland where he was placed, it's like not doing him justice. Because you really could just miss him. So I do wonder if, I don't know if he was necessarily needed in the Disneyland ride. Disney World, it gives a little bit extra like, ooh, but Disneyland, I don't know if he's needed. I mean, we love Jack Sparrow, but like, you can miss him. All right, let me see where I'm at. Oh, Space Mountain. This is going to be a really, really, really hot take. Disney World's is better. I say that as somebody who always, is going through it after she gets off of this ride, okay? It will beat you about. And there is something nostalgic and perfect about being on that janky little bobsled ride and just getting whipped in the dark at 35 miles an hour aggressively, for a few minutes. There's something about it. There's something that it just feels different than the one in Disneyland. Now, Disneyland, it's smooth. It's in the dark. It's like, you laugh or whatever. But there is literally something about the one in Disney World where you're like, you're just getting, like, I can't stop cackling the entire time I'm on that ride. Meanwhile, I'm getting my butt kicked. And there's something so nostalgic about it. So Disney World wins for me, plus like my dad, riding that ride with my dad, hilarious. So 10 out of 10 for Disney World. I forgot to mention earlier, Star Tours, it's the same. It's the same. No matter which way that cookie's gonna crumble, it's the same. I do have kind of like a soft spot for Star Tours because it gets a little hate. Willa's in her tent. Don't mind her. I don't know. I feel bad for it, but it's the same on both coasts. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now listen, this is another one of those where I haven't ridden the one in Disney World, but I have ridden the one in Disneyland. And I'm gonna tell you right now, hot take, but I'm gonna pick Disney World. There's a few reasons. Let me explain, because I haven't even ridden it, but let me explain. Number 1, you get drenched in Disneyland, and I hate that. So me personally, that's the first thing, okay? Second thing, I felt as though I was so rushed through that ride. And what I mean is, when you ride, okay, so like Splash Mountain, all right? Splash Mountain. In Disney World, when you ride that, it's like a slow moving. You can like see all of the little, animatronics, all the creatures, And you can even see that one little guy that like pops out of the ceiling, like all of these things. You know the storyline, you understand it, you can take in the sights, you can see all the stuff. When we rode Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I couldn't see half of the stuff. I just felt like we were whipping through the rooms, you know, and like I get the storyline, but I would have liked it if it was a little slower so I could just like take in all the lights and all the extra elements that they put into this ride, but I felt like you just kind of zoomed through it. So I'm going to give it to Disney World for my 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm not going to get as wet. And I know where to sit so I get even less wet because I hate that. Number 2, the speed. I do like it's a little slower. Also, I kind of like the double-seater in Disney World better than the single-seater in Disneyland. A little bit. I kind of like both. So I like having somebody beside me so I can like be like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, did you see that guy? I like that. But I also kind of like the fact of like there's no one around me to like impede my view on a single-seater. So I don't really know if that's a factor, but I do feel like because of the double-seater I can get less wet if I strategically place myself on the ride. So, Disney World. But if you like the one in Disneyland because it goes faster, that's fine too. Oh, the Tiki Room. The Tiki Room. In the Tiki Room. I love the Tiki Room. It's the same, right? It's the same. But I'm going to give it to Disneyland. And the reason why is Walt and Dole Whip. Okay? So Walt Disney got to work on it. It was a passion project. It's like, you know, first seeing an animatronic bird thing. You know, it's got the whole shebang. But you can take Dole Whip in there too. I also kind of like how it's just kind of like right there. You just kind of like walk up. It doesn't. There's no like walkway. There's no stair. Like just whoop. It's right there, front door. Easy. Like right inside of Adventureland. Boom. Tiki Room. It's great. So Disney World is going to need some upgrades, like Dole Whip conveniences, to compete with Disneyland on the Tiki Room. But you know, it's okay. It can be a thing that only happens in Disneyland, and I'm cool with it. I think the only thing we have left, and let me double check my list, because that's what I've been running off of this whole time. Yes, the castles. Okay. I gave them a 50-50. Now, if you are a Disney Worlder, you're like, absolutely not, our castle is better. You immediately go to that. If you're a Disneylander, you go, absolutely not, ours is the original. I hear you. I hear you. Okay? But hear me out as to why I think they're both 50-50. Okay? When you go to Disney World and you pop in that corner and you whoop down Main Street, the magnificence of Cinderella Castle at the end of Main Street is nothing to be compared to. Like, it's mind-blowing. You see that castle, you have to really like take it in. It's a beaut, okay? Thank you, Roy. Thank you so much, because you did a bang-up job, okay, on that castle. It's gorgeous, all right? Pictures, 10 out of 10. She's pretty. The projections that you can put on her, like, she's great. Disneyland. You hit the corner, you round, you're like, okay. She cute. It's just not the same. The impact is not the same impact, okay? However, you have to book a reservation and go eat at some restaurant that there's mixed reviews on the food, okay? In order to get into the castle in Disney World. In Disneyland, there's a whole walk, like interactive elements, and it's all cutesy, and I love it. I love it. I love the walkthrough. You can't do that in Florida. It doesn't exist. You can only do that in Disneyland. They're different. They have different things that like draw you in. So I'm going to make them 50-50 because you can interact more and be more a part of Sleeping Beauty and like Aurora's story. But Cindy just got the better castle. I think Roy just saw the impact of like the castle and was like, you know, we could go bigger. And then he did. And then we have Cinderella's castle. Like, Roy, buddy, I'm serious. 10 out of 10. You did great. I love her. She's gorgeous. And they're getting ready to, like, repaint to, like, old school. It's, like, bringing back the nostalgia. I'm just saying. Evens out. Those are all of them. Hang on, let me count real quick. And okay. The winner between my personal choices of who I thought did it better is Disney World. By 1 point. By 1 point. Out of the things that I did, Disney World got 15 and Disneyland got 14. I can't really tell you by looking at this right now which one pulled it in, which one came in clutch for the win, but Disney World, but like by bare. So it's just closer by. So I guess it's a good thing that by 1 point I like it more. Yeah, so let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite. So is Astral Orbiter your favorite on the East Coast, West Coast? What about Space Mountain? Tiana's, you got any hot takes? Let me know. Like, subscribe, follow along for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have the best day.